Hey everyone, this is Jason Nichols with Short Selling OC. My partner Jeff Miller will be joining us shortly. If you guys could just sit tight for another minute or so, I want to give everyone a chance to log on in and take advantage of today's webinar. All right, I'm going to get things going a little bit here. Hello everyone again. Again, my name is Jason Nichols and I'm with Short Selling OC. And my partner Jeff Miller and I have created a real estate brand called Short Selling OC. And Short Selling OC is really an attempt to help educate and inform people about the pros and cons of short selling their own home. And there is a lot to consider and process, so we want to try to provide you with the most amount of up-to-date information. All right, our last open slot looks like it might have just got filled. I think we're at 35 people, so yeah, we're ready to go. With that being said, just a little housekeeping. I do have everyone muted on this call, so I want to keep things flowing as quickly as possible. But in the upper right-hand corner, you'll see a section where you can send us a message or a question, and we'll be sure to get those addressed after our presentation. I would like to first spend a couple minutes telling you about who we are. We are self-made entrepreneurs, and we have had some success and some failures. And Jeff and I have been in the real estate industry now for 12 years and been able to build, again, a few successful businesses. The most successful and business that we're most proud of is First Financial Center. And that is a debt relief company that helps get consumers out of credit card debt. So we offer services like credit counseling and debt settlement. And the thing that we're most proud of about this company is that we are 100% FTC compliant, meaning that we only charge fees upon being successful in relieving the client of their debt. Most clients and attorneys charge fees up front whether or not they're successful. So we put our money where our mouth is. Last month we helped over 500 new clients get set up and establish a debt relief program. And last year we sold out over $11 million in credit card debt for our clients. So it's a very, very cool product, and our clients really love what we do for them. So you're probably thinking, great, how does this benefit me? Well, we believe it runs parallel to what we're talking about today. We have a lot of relationships with banks. When we're selling out as much money as we are with these banks on a monthly basis, we understand how the banks work. We understand what they want to see. And further, we understand your frustration and the burden that you might be dealing with on a daily basis. So we can really help provide a clear path for you. However, I think what really separates Jeff and I from other real estate agencies is that our combined 9 properties that we've short sold together. These are properties that we've owned individually. Some are our primary, some of our investment properties. And this all happened back in 2007, 2008, and of course the market was much different back then. But through the ups and downs, one thing that we always can look back and say what was comforting most was being able to talk to somebody who's personally been through the short sale process. So let's jump into some questions that we know from other consultations that we know are on your mind. So this first one. How can I know if I qualify for a short sale? Well, there really isn't a bulletproof plan that we can submit to the bank that will guarantee you approval. First and foremost, what we need to do is show the bank some kind of financial hardship. And after Jeff and I sit down with you, we'll be able to help outline the game plan for that process. Next, what will a short sale cost me if I hire you? It's going to cost you nothing. You won't pay any fees to Jeff and I. And now and through the end of 2013, you won't pay any taxes on the forgiven debt. This is huge, guys. I mean, they can't tell you how big this is. Some of our clients have also damage to their property. Don't worry about the damage. You might have damage from water damage or broken pipe or just landscaping. Don't worry about it. We don't need to fix any of those issues. We sell your property as is. Nothing's coming out of your pocket. Next, how will a short sale affect my credit score? This is always a fun one. If you don't know, there's 3 different credit bureaus, and all 3 have a different way of scoring an individual. What I can tell you is Jeff and I, again, have personally been through the short sale experience along with debt settlement on our credit card debt. And what happens to an individual is when they're leveraging credit card debt, like you may or may not be, and then a short sale reports to your credit report, sometimes you're going to be dramatically hit right away. Not going to lie, folks. Your score is going to drop dramatically. Basically, if you look at it from the credit bureau's stance, is you got a lot of debt. You just short sold your home, so you look like you're about ready to come down a financial crisis mountain. So until we can get everything evened out, that means your credit card debt, get that settled out, and we also get a foreclosure on your credit report, get a short sale on your credit report, not a foreclosure. From Jeff and I's experience, you should be ready to go within 3 to 4 years. Looking back to Jeff and I's own personal situation from having 9 foreclosures and short sales through 2007 and 2008, along with settling out a combined $300,000 in credit card debt, Jeff and I are both above a 680 in all 3 credit bureaus. Again, once Jeff and I sit down with you and learn your specific financial situation, Jeff and I could probably give you a better idea of what to expect, but it's really going to be specific to each individual. Next question. Why do banks approve a short sale? It seems like they lose a lot of money. This wasn't always the case. Back in 2007, 2008, banks were not keen on short selling. They believed things would change, or they could force the homeowner to pay off the debt over their lifetime. Eventually, banks got smart and realized too many people were filing bankruptcy, and the foreclosure process, frankly, is just too expensive with legal fees. The banks also noticed a huge increase in vandalism happening to homes that were vacant. This was really a bad situation for the banks because your home is technically an asset to them. And so when they're already short selling you the property, they've already devalued the asset, and now there's damage to the property, therefore lowering the value of their asset even further. So what's happened is after this learning curve, they realized that they're better off keeping the homeowner in the house to maintain the house, hopefully not damage it. And they said, look, keep the house in good condition, move out without having to get attorneys involved, and we'll give you cash for keys. And right now, banks are paying anywhere between $2,000 to $40,000, given your situation. I've heard there is a tax penalty for short selling. Is this true? No. Believe it or not, our dysfunctional Congress extended the bill through the end of 2013, allowing you to short sell your home and forgive the debt, so it's not taxed. All right, so let's jump into some questions that were sent over to us via being typed. Let's see here, what we got here. What if I start the process and then change my mind? Okay, no problem. This has happened to Jeff and I before. Sometimes our clients are successful in getting a loan modification, for example. We've also had clients that just frankly got frustrated with the short sale process and decide to let their home go into foreclosure. So you can definitely cancel. It's not going to cost you anything. Jeff and I aren't going to charge you anything. There's not going to be hard feelings. Again, Jeff and I have been through the process, and we just really want what's best for you. Next question here we got. All right, another question here. My friend just received a check for $22,000 from her bank when they close escrow. Is this really true? Yes, this is actually really true. Between government incentives and bank programs, homeowners are getting anything from $2,000 to $40,000 to short sell their home and move. This is also known as cash for keys. And unfortunately, no matter who you decide to work with, as far as a realtor is concerned, no one's going to be able to tell you exactly how much you're going to get right away, or when you're going to get the money, or if your short sale is going to be accepted. So what we do, we got to get your house listed. We got to get the paperwork going. And throughout that conversation, when Jeff and I are working on your behalf with the bank, we'll start to get a better idea of what you're looking at as far as money and how confident we are in you getting that money. So let's go to the next question here. Does it matter if I have a second mortgage? No, it doesn't matter. However, Jeff and I need to know if this second mortgage was purchase money, or if it was taken out after you purchased the home, or if this second was purchase money, but you did end up refinancing it. If you don't know, that's fine. When Jeff and I come into your home and do our consultation, we're going to ask you to prepare some paperwork. In this paperwork, Jeff and I are going to be able to read through that paperwork, and we'll be able to tell you exactly where you stand. All right, next question. What if I already applied for a loan modification? No problem. This is pretty common. However, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but most loan mods do not get approved. So you need to have a backup plan. And in case you're not successful, we got to have that alternative. Also be advised that the person you're dealing with at the bank for the loan mod has no say or any idea about the short sale process for your home. There are two different departments at the banks that deal with each side. So one deals with the loan mod and one deals with the short sale. So I would strongly recommend being proactive and getting your home listed just in case the mod doesn't go through. All right, can I short sell my home to a family member? No. What's going to happen is when we get the short sale process going, we're going to get a package from the bank. And in that package, you're going to be required to sign an agreement that says this is an arm's length transaction, meaning that you will not sell to a family member or have a family member list your property for sale. If you were thinking about doing this so you could rent the home back, don't worry. Jeff and I do have investors that are willing to buy short sales and rent them back to you. So that's definitely an option if that's what you're thinking. Does it matter if the home is an investment property or not? No, you can definitely still short sell investment properties. However, be aware, per the Short Sale Forgiveness Act, you are technically not eligible to forgive the debt if it is an investment property. However, depending on how many investment properties you have and how open and willing and creative your CPA is, and Jeff and I can advise on this, a lot of times we can provide a workaround for that. Is there any more questions, Jeff? Okay. All right. Well, let me tell you how we would like to proceed and go from here. First, we prefer to meet face-to-face in your home for about an hour or so to really get a sense of you and your goals. This allows us to really get a better feel of your neighborhood and potential buyer traffic. Secondly, we go back to our office and work out the asking price that we feel the bank will accept. Third, we discuss with you our marketing plan for your home, open houses, mailers, websites, you name it. We're going to discuss that with you. Fourth, we begin locating your replacement home. This is a key part of what Jeff and I do. I think it's really going to separate Jeff and I from the rest of the realtors out there. We take a lot of pride in this, and this is something that we're very proactive on, and we really try to get on this as quickly as possible. And lastly, we get your home sold. So that's it, folks. I think that pretty much wraps it up. What I would recommend doing is after this webinar, there's a link on our website where you can request our short sale video series. It has a couple more questions and answers in there that might be helpful. But I strongly recommend you to call Jeff and I or shoot us an email. You guys can call us anytime. The number 800-751-8134, and we can get this going for you guys. Again, please don't be strangers. We've been in your situation. We understand it's nerve-wracking. But, if Jeff and I can't help, we'll tell you who can help you. All right, folks. Thanks again, and have a good day.